Right, it's time to do the first upgrade on the Mad Bull. Hey guys, welcome back to Tamiya Legends, and once again, thank you for stopping by. So it's time to do the first upgrade on the Mad Bull. So I've just built this thing, and this is going to be a project car, but that's for another video. So this is a bog standard Mad Bull. The kit comes with the red friction shocks, pogo sticks. Incredibly bouncy, obviously there's no oil damper in them. But I have to say straight off the bat, this is a fun kit as it is. This is not a mod that's a must to do, but I'm going with a little bit of a crazy brushless setup in this. 4370 kV motor running on 2S. So I want to improve the handling if I can. Whether the upgraded shocks will make a difference, I don't know. So the option part we're using is 1567, and it's a DTO3 CVA damper set, 54567. Cheap and cheerful. Obviously these are black, which is a bit of a shame because I like the red shocks on this. These are very easy to build, relatively cheap as well. I picked these up for about 30 Canadian dollars, so you can get a set of these for about 18 pounds on eBay. In an ideal world, I should have run it with this shock setup first, see how it performed, and then do the upgrade and take it back out. But unfortunately winter's here, and winter's here for a long time in Canada, so it's going to be quite difficult to sort of gauge the difference in performance with it sliding around on snow and ice. So I'm just going to do the change now. The only concern I have, actually I have two concerns. First one is the length of these. The standard friction shocks it comes with, the plastic at the end of the shock that bolts the shock onto the arms is quite long. So I'm a little bit concerned about the length of these. It might not be a concern I should have once I build them. They might be the exact size, I don't know. But obviously I can't afford to take, because obviously if it's a little bit shorter with the new shocks on, then I'm going to lose a little bit of ride height like that, and I want this as high as possible. So fingers crossed the lengths are correct, but if they're not, I have got an option. I can use the bottoms of these, but I'll have to spray them black in that case, but at least that'll give me the correct length. But again, I'm getting ahead of myself. And the second thing is the springs. Again, I should have these fitted before I talk like that, but I want to make sure that the springs are not too hard. I'll be using soft damper oil with them, but I want to make sure that there's plenty of suspension movement. I don't want this thing to be solid so that the shocks aren't working at all. So worst case scenario, I guess, obviously with the oil fill shocks, we could maybe use the springs on them if if these option house parts are a little bit harder. But again, we won't know that. So that's how it stands at the moment. Let's get into this bag and let's get them built up quickly. So that's all the parts you get, very basic. Large bottle of soft damper oil, instructions, short plastic bodies, large plastic bodies, sets of springs, the actual pistons, 4 O-rings in each, 2 different pairs of diaphragms, and then your parts trees. Now the first good thing straight off the bat is it comes with 2 ends. Is that focusing? So we've got the large one, which is awesome, a longer one, so we'll build all 4 with that end on. And also on the parts tray you get your different adjustable pistons, 1 hole, 2 hole and 3 holes. You don't use these on these are pretty cheap and cheerful, and the piston rod itself comes with the end already on. That's not focusing. Now obviously normally with better shocks you have to put a circlip top and bottom and pick the setting you're going to want, so you don't have to worry about, you just make these things up. So extremely straightforward. So let's make one up now. So I've just built one front and one rear up and installed it onto the car because I just wanted to make sure it was going to be okay. So on the rear, using the longer arm is pretty much perfect. That lines up, as you can see, that's straight across. The difference is incredible, and obviously you're not going to see the full difference until I do it, but if you just do the one side, there's just nothing there, whereas you do the other, it's a different world completely. And the fronts, we did have to make a slight change, but I think we've made it for the better. So I did go for the longer bottom arm on the front, but the shock is still a little bit shorter than the standard. Now, as I say, I don't want to lose any ride height with this car. So you have two mounting options on the arms. That's the standard one, but you have this one as well. So I just fitted the new oil damper onto the second hole, and it's absolutely perfect. So the lengths are, let's see if I can get on camera, so you can see it's exactly the right ride height. It's not holding the arm up slightly, which is awesome. And again, if you just do that, it's horrible. You do it on this side, it's a different world. It's incredible. So, and I think the difference in angles might suit it a little bit more, make it a little bit different. So what I'll do now is I'll get the other two shocks made up, and we'll get them on the car. Right, that's those other two shocks made up. Just a little tip for you guys if you are new to this. Don't be lazy taking the plastic flashing off. Get a really nice sharp craft knife when you're taking these off the part trays, because if you don't clean the flashing up, it looks terrible. Just my opinion. And also, secondly, when you're filling the shocks up, squeeze it in one smooth movement, because if you just squeeze it and let go, squeeze it, you're just putting bubbles in and you're just giving yourself work. Let it filter down, apply an even pressure until it's just about right, and then take it off, and you'll get less bubbles that way. And then finally, seriously, take your time when you're moving the piston up and down to get the bubbles out, because it really does pay off for you. I spend a good 10-15 minutes getting them so every bubble's gone. Anyway, just in case any of you guys are watching who didn't know that. So let's get these next two shocks on the car. Well, that is seriously a different car now. That's incredible. So let's see if we can show you this on camera. Wow. That is just totally different. And obviously the fronts we've got. Seriously, it's a different car. It's incredible. Cool. Anyway, we won't know. Let's get the wheels on and that, and see how it reacts. And that is superb. Very happy with that. I just remember pushing down when I built the kit with the pogo sticks, and now you do this, and it's just so much better. It's incredible. The fronts, same. Now I have put the largest spring adapters, I don't know what you call them, but push your springs down. I've put the largest on the front and backs. Now obviously there's no weight in this car yet, there's a battery to go across, but I am using 2S, so the 2S is very light, so that may be okay. And obviously you don't really have to take into account the weight of the motor, I wouldn't have thought, because that's in the gearbox unit, which is a little bit separate. I might be wrong, so I think that's going to be okay. The fronts, it's not pushing all the way up, but obviously when this thing moves, it lifts. So, and I also think if I leave it at that, then it'll push down under braking. Again, we're not going to know all this until we're running it, but very, very happy with that. That is so much better. Well, I think that's a super little mod, guys. Definitely worth doing. I mean, I've not even run the thing yet, but you can just tell. It's quite rare for me where most of the things I use have oil shocks anyway, so it's quite rare that I'll come across something with friction shocks, but when you do, it's a stark reminder of just how bad they are compared to the oil shocks. But yeah, and I even like the look of it in black. I think they look good. Anyway, God, I can't describe the difference. It's unreal. Very, very happy with that. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that little video, guys. It's something I'm going to be doing more of, because I know a lot of you in the comments have been asking for a little bit more detail and sort of proper build videos. So I'm happy to do those if you're happy to listen to my dribble. So guys, once again, thanks very much for watching. It's really appreciated. If you are new to this channel, if you could please consider liking and subscribing to support us. And if you do that, smash that notification buzzer for our weekly videos. And as always guys, happy RCing.